Good evening, Star Pupils. I'm your host, friend, and life coach, Mrs.Divine Awakening. So right now it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just have been having these downloads where I need to get up and speak to you guys. I think I've just been thinking about it all day, so um, this is the time. I hope to find you all in good spirits right now, despite what's happening around the world. I just wanted to update you because the last time we spoke was during my meditation challenge that I did for 30 days. And I said that I found it important during those meditation days to increase my oxygen. So I wanted to increase my oxygen in my skin. And I was going to start by not depriving it when I was in the shower. So I went from taking really hot showers because they were relaxing to taking showers that were um, on the cooler side or lukewarm. Okay. And doing that consciously every time when I got in the shower or took a bath, it made me aware of how many things I do during the day that actually deprives me of oxygen, right? That deprive my skin of oxygen. One of the first things I noticed was that my face, right? So my face was really dry, and I had a hard time finding things that would keep it moisturized. During this challenge I did where I started increasing my water, so I got my goal was to be drinking a gallon of water by the time my 30-day update was due. I definitely have been drinking half a gallon or more. So it has increased because it went down um, prior to that, and I noticed that, but I see the difference that it made by increasing it. So I haven't yet gotten to the full gallon like I would like to do, consciously, that I would consciously like to do, but I'm getting there. So drinking the half gallon and more, I started to realize how important it was to hydrate myself internally as well as externally. So my focus just became shifted on oxygen, right? Or hydration, because hydration is a form of oxygen. How to get oxygen in your body, how to get oxygen in your skin. So you're not necessarily going to just go pumping a bunch of air, oxygen inside your body. You do that through the ways your body can take it internally, and that's through water. And so one of the first things I noticed was I was going to wash dishes, and I stuck my hand in the water, and the water was hot. Now, mind you, because I'm focusing on taking my showers and bathing in lukewarm water, I reacted to it being hot. And normally I don't have a reaction when I'm sticking my hand in hot water because, again, to me it's soothing. So I realized that up right here, I do dishes every day, and I deprive my hands of the oxygen that they need every time I'm dipping it into some hot dish water. Now, hot water is important for dishes because they're non-porous and they have all kinds of germs that can grow and be on there. So it's necessary. And even to put chemicals inside of your dishwater, such as bleach or um, the detergent that you put in the dish soap, that all leads to deprivation of oxygen to your hands. So people who do dishes a lot or clean a lot with products, they have drier hands. And I get it, right? And so once I thought of that, as soon as I dipped my hand in the water, I'm like, man, I need gloves to do dishes now. And it dawned on me, I had gloves inside of my cabinet. Now, these gloves have been here since I moved in this house, and I've been here for a few years now, and I've never used them. I look at them all the time when I'm moving things around or finding something, but I've never used them. So I realized at that moment that a lot of things that we create our world in so many different ways, consciously and subconsciously, because a lot of things that when we get reminded of why it's important, when we remember what we came here to do, things are already laid in our path for us, and most of the time it's laid there through us. So I had put those gloves there, but I don't wear gloves when I'm washing dishes, like, ever. So I don't know when I ever got them, but I know I had them, and I can't recall why it was important for me to get them at the moment when I got them, but they came in handy as soon as I realized that oxygen was something I needed to be focused on, right? All right, so something else I noticed during this challenge of updating my oxygen was that I was manifesting things left and right. I manifested a face steamer. Now, people did know about my oxygen challenge for, the water. Because the thing is when I do different challenges, I do it with simply the intention I had behind it, which is um, I wanted to increase, I wanted to, I was doing my challenge to allow myself to feel more, because I know that as I'm depriving myself of oxygen, my body is fighting to get oxygen when it's dehydrated from taking hot showers and things like that. Where that's now my skin is so dry and is focused on getting oxygen that I'm not detecting my vibration as well. I'm not detecting my manifestations as well because my skin is preoccupied and kind of has a mind of its own when its focus is just to get oxygen real quick so then it can do its thing, right? Or as it's doing its thing. So during this time, I ended up manifesting a face steamer. Somebody gave me that as a gift, a face steamer. And wow, I would have never expected this to come from me, because what that does is it provides it provides oxygen to your face. So first of all, it cleans out the toxins through steam, through water. It's steaming your face, taking all the toxins out, and then you're able to you're able to close your pores afterwards. You could put something cold on your face as you rinse it off after you clean off your toxins, close your pores, add moisture to it, your coconut oil or whatever moisture you use towards your face. And now your face is healthier and you're being intentional about putting oxygen on your face. And so that was another thing that, as I'm using these terms and I'm thinking, and that's why I mispronounced oxygen and I said hydrogen, because it had to call to my attention, right? So another thing I noticed during this time is that oxygen, when I say I wanted to hydrate my skin, hydration is just a form of putting oxygen somewhere in the body. And like I said, every place doesn't take just pure oxygen. It gets oxygen through other forms. So as you talk about the elements, air, water, fire, earth, these are all oxygen manifested in different forms, right? So look that up. You can break that down. So if you say I am the water, you're also oxygen as well. And so I was noticing these things. Another thing I noticed is that when I'm using words like oxygen or hydration, everything is boiling down to the breath, the air we breathe. So I would say air because we're thinking about the elements, right? And air is one of the elements, one of the strongest elements. And as I'm saying air, I was reminded that when you say air, people think of air being so dirty and polluted. They forget that air is prana, that air is the life force, the breath of life. Air is the breath. So no matter how polluted or dirty, that's what it is. It's polluted and dirty because of the way that people are living their lives, but not, all air quality isn't the same. There are some higher, better air qualities than others. And that's just facts, right? So I was reminded during this journey of me increasing the oxygen of my skin that I am the breath. You are the breath. We are the breath. We are the breath of life, right? And this is something we already know, but it's something that because we're not consciously breathing anymore, we're just walking around taking really shallow breaths, we are forgetting. We're forgetting how important it is. Also during this time, I did the Iceman Challenge. And so that was a meditation done. You can find that on YouTube. And this guy, right? I can't tell you his name off the top of my head, but you can look it up, the Iceman Challenge, breathing challenge. And during that meditation, I was able to hold my breath for over 2 minutes. And now, as somebody who has struggled throughout her life with asthma, until I did my detox, it got way better, way more under control, almost non existent. Um, Holding my breath for long periods of time was something that was always a struggle. I probably could never do over 30 seconds. I used to try, but I was able to hold my breath for over 2 minutes doing that. So I was constantly finding, I was constantly, subconsciously finding different ways to increase my oxygen all around, right? That breathing challenge that I found on YouTube, that came out of the blue, but it was awesome to see how I can increase the oxygen inside of my lungs just by um, practicing breath work. So with all that being said, I was seeing just how important oxygen is for us, how important air, the breath is for us, right? Because we are the breath. The breath is consciousness. You can be alive without your brain functioning the way that is optimal for it, right? People can lose half their brain. People can be in comas. Or vegetables and still be alive. They can be on the breathing machine, the respirator at the hospitals and still be alive. And you know why? It's because the breath. Once the breath is gone, then consciousness has left that vessel as well. And so then I was also noticing during this challenge of me increasing my water intake and taking lukewarm showers to neutralize my feeling, right? Because as you use hotter water, you're burning your skin receptors. So when you're manifesting and you're vibrating, it's going to take a lot more before it gets to you if you are burning off your receptors by taking hot baths or hot showers, or if you just made yourself really numb to feeling what the different sensations are when they come in through to you, right? So during this time, I also started to realize that what's happening now, left and right, when you see it on TV, Black Lives Matter, things like that, these protests, a lot of people are walking around with signs saying that they can't breathe, right? But they are breathing. They are breathing. Now I get it. Trust me, I get it. That it's to say that was someone else's last words. But our words create our reality. Our words create our thoughts. Our words and our thoughts, things you focus on, are going to tell you what to focus on subconsciously. So if people are walking around with these signs saying that they can't breathe, and yes, even though it's not meant for them, it's meant for them to understand and sympathize with the person who lost their life. And that was probably one of the last things that they were thinking, or one of the last things that they said. When people are walking around saying this, they are lowering their vibration and they are putting this into the reality that they can't breathe. Now, consciously walking around, they're going to be breathing, right? But not as good as they can be. You know why? Because that's what's going in through their mind. When you are identifying with things like that, with slogans like that about how well you breathe, you are subconsciously telling yourself that you're not breathing in as well. And something's going on, guys, where the coronavirus is out right now, right? During all this, and it's an attack on your respiratory system, right? And so that means breathing, right? And some people have failures, respiratory failure during this time, and that's how they die, right? So they lack oxygen. Remember, you are the breath. We are the breath. We are air. We are oxygen. However you want to look at that, that's what we are, right? That's our life force, right? Prana, the life force. That's what we are, right? So if people are saying that they can't breathe, then they are restricting that life force from coming in as full as what it can. Okay? And when they're restricting that life force that's coming in as full as it can, they're not able to manifest things in the way that they want to. They're not able to think clearly about manifest. They're not able to think clearly about the moves they're making in life. And I'm a sociology major, okay? So I studied group think. I studied group behavior. I studied how society can play on group behavior, how somebody or something can do one thing and lead people, a whole crowd of people, to do another. And this stuff was ridiculous for me sitting here watching this and studying these kind of things in class, right? But I see it. I see it every day, and I'm seeing it now. Remember, you guys, you can breathe. Remember, you guys, you are the breath of life. Remember, you guys, you are prana. Okay? With the coronavirus, they have us wearing masks. So not only if people who catch the coronavirus, right, if they've caught it, they're having issues with their breathing. And those who don't have it are walking around with masks. Look at the children when they're playing outside with masks on, or when you tell them to put it on, they're snatching them off, or they're finding some way to take it off because they're uncomfortable and they can't breathe with it on. It's harder for them. Let me change that, okay? It's harder for them to breathe with it on. You're not able to get as much air in through your lungs when you have a mask on. Now, for safety reasons and safety concerns, like they tell us around here, you need to wear that to protect yourself and others. I understand all that. I'm not telling, as a disclaimer, I'm not telling anyone to take it off. But I am saying that when you are in a safe space out in nature, you want to focus on taking off. You want to focus on consciously taking deep breaths, getting that oxygen into you, because that's what this is about right now. It's an attack on us because we are the breath. It's an attack on us because we are oxygen. So we're getting attacked in a lot of different ways right now. And I say attack because psychologically I see it. I see the things that are happening out there. Someone, young Pharaoh, he put a video out and he said, hey, look, they did this whole kneeling on this guy and killing him, kneeling on his neck and killing him. And it was videotaped at a bunch of different angles. And of course, because it was a black person, they showed us on the news. They showed it everywhere. That video is available for everyone. And then check this out. A couple of days later, they do the same thing to a black person in London. And then check this out. My coach friend, she let me know that, her name's Coach C, and she let me know that in her own hometown in Jamaica, they did the same thing to a black person, the police. So, do you see the trend, guys? Do you see how you're getting played? Do you see how they're allowing us to just let our emotions run wild right now, right? And that's fuel. So when you think about everything in terms of oxygen, like we're leaving it, right? What provides fuel for fire? It's oxygen. So they're taking the oxygen from people by reminding them that they can't breathe, even though they are breathing fine. They're taking the oxygen from people by taking their focus and shifting it from where it was when they were sitting inside the house with all their thoughts and, contemplations about life during this whole pandemic and shelter in place, to now putting it out here in these streets to fuel their agenda. Okay? So remember, everybody, this is your country too. Whether you are opposed to how they did your ancestors, or the fact that this is my country because my ancestors built this country, or this is their country because who knows? There's lots of different reasons why people feel like this is their country, or they're entitled or not entitled, or the fact that they hate this country because of things that happen. It doesn't matter. We're here. This is our country too. So remember, you can breathe. Remember to breathe deeply and think clearly. Remember to stop and take 10 breaths, 10 deep breaths before you go out and protest, if you're going to protest. You don't have to go out and protest. There are things you can do within your home that will simply raise your vibration to manifest reality you want to see out here. There are some people who don't even understand or see the things that are going out here in these streets. Because why? A lot of it is fake. It's not as bad as what they're making it seem. And B, their vibration is so high that they are immune to it. I mean, literally immune to it. I've seen this with my own eyes. I've experienced this until you allow somebody to come into your space who is not immune to it, and they want to tell you all about it, or they want to forward you videos and pictures all about it. It's your choice at the end of the day if you open those up. If someone sends you a video, I like disclaimers. I like people to say, hey, this is about this, before I just open a video. Sometimes I'll open it and see what it is and turn it off immediately and let that person know, yeah, I wasn't able to, look at it, because protect your space, protect your energy. And remember, a lot of this news you're seeing out here is fake news because it is used to fill you up. When you have a lot of oxygen flowing through your body and through to your brain in a healthy way, your brain lights up. Your brain lights up in all different types of ways. And when your brain lights up, when you have enough oxygen, you are able to manifest. You are able to manifest things instantaneously. You are able to manifest things at magnificent rates. And it's important to remember that. So while people are saying how good they breathe or don't breathe to sympathize with someone else or a situation that they feel connected to, remember the reality for yourself is that you can't breathe. Remember, you can sympathize in other ways by saying how that person, struggled, how that person wasn't able to breathe, how that person's life force was taken away, but never equate it to you unless that is something that you want to experience. Another thing, as you're getting emotionally enraged, right? You're getting charged up. You're protesting. You're debating. You're going on your live streams. You're going out there and capturing things on your camera and speaking. You're speaking about it, right? You're debating. You're arguing. All that's the same thing. When you're debating, when you're arguing, your brain lights up again, right? So think about the brain. Think about brain scans. Go look this up. Look up different brain scans. That's what I like to do. How does your brain light up when you're debating? How does your brain light up when you're in an argument? When you're doing this, you will see that your brain it's lit up. When your brain is lit up, that's like what I was saying when I said that when you're getting enough oxygen, your brain lights up. So again, you're manifesting. So if you're a walking ball of anger and you're arguing and yelling and protesting, or just arguing your point, or arguing someone else's point, or fighting with each other online, Trump this, Trump that, if you like them, if you don't, all lives matter, Black lives matter, whatever, all that stuff. All that stuff y'all find it's worth your while to debate about when people are entitled to their opinions, and it's about how you show up and live your life. But anyway, all those things you want to debate about, you're manifesting things. So if you're angry when you're doing that, you're manifesting angry things. If you're fearful when you're doing that, crying, saying how, your children have to grow up in this world and you as a Black person, things like that, you're manifesting. Now, I always say everybody's a magnificent manifester, whether you believe it or not. It's just about if you're consciously understanding that you're manifesting. So as you're enraged, emotional, happy, sad, whatever it is, when you're arguing, when you're debating, when you're stating your piece about this topic or any topic, your brain is lit up because you are manifesting. Your brain scans are going crazy. They're going haywire. You're manifesting left and right. So be careful how you're allowing your emotions to work for you right now. If you are going to debate, argue, protest, anything, have a go live or anything of that nature, be aware. Be aware of what you're manifesting. Use your words wisely and use your emotions wisely. Attract those things you want to attract. If you don't want to attract that anger and sadness, you don't want to attract those nightmares you're having about the what ifs, then guess what? Don't speak on those. Don't give them any fuel. Don't give them any oxygen. Don't respond to them at all. You speak what you want to happen. You speak what you're intending, what your intentions are. You speak what you're manifesting consciously. So do so with peace and love and harmony, or whatever, love and above. Those are the feelings I like to be at, love and above. So you speak to things like that because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to attract. Okay? So if these causes that are happening around this world right now, are important to you, then you get yourself in check, get yourself in tune, so you can come out here and show up and say what you need to say, what you feel is on your heart to say, in a way where you're manifesting a beautiful reality for yourself and others. And you're promoting love and above. You're attracting love and above to you. Okay, don't allow others or any situation out here in this world to fuel you and direct your energy, take your oxygen from you to fuel fires in a way that you don't want to fuel. You want to light it up in your brain. You want to light it up and manifest in your world things that you want to create, things that you want to attract to you. All right, star pupils, keep drinking water, keep hydrating your skin, keep providing moisture to your hair, keep providing moisture to your lips, your feet, your work. If you are working, keep providing oxygen there, right? That means keep your focus there. That means go put some of your energy in there. Anything that you're manifesting, anything that you're trying to improve let me stop saying trying. Anything that you are improving on, increase the fuel there, increase the oxygen there. See how your focus can shift toward that. And if you're out here in these streets protesting, if you're out here with a song in your heart that you need to sing around this time about these things, do so in a way where you're consciously understanding that you're creating your reality. Okay. Star pupils, I also have a manifesting class. It's a mastermind webinar that's coming up next week on Thursday. And it's going to be $17 to attend the class with me and to do it live with me. After that, the replay will be available on my website for a fee. So it'll be a small fee, but it'll be a fee. And the class will only hold 8 people because I want it to be real intimate, right? I want anyone who pays the $17 to come into the manifesting class to really get to work with me and make it about them and their whatever it is that they are manifesting as well. So if you're interested in attending that, go onto my website for further details. My website is www.mrsdivineawakening.com. Go check out my website under events and you will see information for the live webinar, and it's also going to be on Eventbrite. So you can attend live. Again, there's only 8 spots, but after that, you'll be able to go on my website and purchase the class on your own. All right, star pupils, continue to go out here and do big things and live your lives and manifest perfectly. And remember to breathe. Peace out.